In our quest to understand the world around us and our place within it, we often overlook a critical barrier that affects our perception and understanding: the veil of ignorance. This concept isn't just a philosophical notion, it's a pervasive element that influences our everyday experiences and our understanding of reality itself. Today, we will explore the profound implications of this veil and how it shapes our lives, thoughts, and decisions. The first dimension of the veil of ignorance we encounter is its role in shaping our personal biases and preconceptions. Each of us is born into a specific time, place, and culture, each with its unique beliefs, norms, and values. These elements are like colors painted on the canvas of our minds from the moment we enter this world, and they significantly color our perception of reality. But what if these colors are not the true colors of the universe, but merely shades imposed by our limited experiences? Consider how our upbringing, the media we consume, and the education we receive all contribute to a preconceived framework of the world. This framework is comfortable and familiar, yet it narrows our vision, restricting us to specific pathways of thinking and behaving. How often do you question the fundamental beliefs that govern your life? Are these beliefs truly your own, or are they inherited from the society around you? This brings us to the importance of self-inquiry in piercing this first layer of the veil. To begin seeing through this part of the veil, we must critically examine the origins of our beliefs. This process involves recognizing that much of what we consider truth is often a relative concept, heavily influenced by our social and cultural contexts. By acknowledging this, we can start to question and expand our perspectives, opening ourselves to a broader range of ideas and viewpoints. This expansion is not just an intellectual exercise, it is a profound transformation that allows us to connect more deeply with the essence of who we are beyond our conditioned identities. Imagine for a moment that you are meeting someone from a vastly different background than yours. Instead of approaching this encounter with a preset framework, you choose to engage with an open mind, curious and ready to learn something new about the world and yourself. This approach doesn't just enrich your understanding, it also dissolves barriers of separation between you and the other, fostering a sense of unity and shared humanity. Now let us consider the practical steps you can take to implement this understanding in your daily life. Begin by observing your reactions to different people and situations. Notice when you feel resistance or discomfort arising. These emotions are indicators, pointing towards the internal biases and preconceptions that are at play. Instead of reacting automatically, pause and reflect on what these feelings reveal about your beliefs and assumptions. This practice of mindful observation and reflection is a powerful tool for personal growth and transformation. As we reach the end of this first exploration, I invite you to reflect on the ways the veil of ignorance might be influencing your perception of reality. How might your life change if you were to see through this veil, even just a little more? How would your relationships transform? How would your understanding of yourself and the world evolve? Unveiling the shadows of society. Challenging structures and beliefs to cultivate justice and empathy. As we delve further into the exploration of the veil of ignorance, we encounter another critical aspect that shapes our interactions and relationships: the influence of societal structures and collective beliefs. This facet of the veil not only affects our individual perceptions, but also governs the dynamics of power, privilege, and inequality within our societies. Understanding this layer is crucial for fostering a more just and empathetic world. Societal structures, comprising laws, norms, economic systems, and cultural narratives, play a significant role in defining what is considered normal or acceptable. Thus, structures are powerful because they are largely invisible, We often accept them as natural aspects of life, yet they are human-made constructs that can either promote equity and understanding or perpetuate division and misunderstanding. Consider, for example, how different societies treat issues of wealth distribution, gender roles, or racial identity. These are not merely matters of personal opinion, but are deeply influenced by the societal structures within which we operate. These structures can create environments where certain groups are privileged over others, often without the conscious awareness of the individuals within those groups. To see through this layer of the veil, it is essential to recognize and challenge these societal structures. This involves asking critical questions about the fairness and origins of these systems. Why are things the way they are? Who benefits from maintaining certain narratives or status quo? What historical events and decisions shape the current structures? Understanding the answers to these questions can help us recognize biases and inequalities that we might otherwise overlook. One practical approach to addressing this aspect of the veil is through education and dialogue. By educating ourselves and others about the historical and social context of our current structures, we can begin to see the cracks in what seemed like the unchangeable foundation of society. Dialogue, particularly with those who have different experiences and perspectives, can further illuminate the hidden aspects of our societal constructs. Moreover, actively participating in societal reform is a direct method of addressing these issues. This can range from voting and participating in local governance to supporting organizations and movements that aim to dismantle unfair systems. Each act of participation, no matter how small, contributes to the gradual lifting of the veil, revealing a clearer picture of reality that is based on truth rather than inherited ignorance. Now let us consider the personal impact of engaging in this transformative work. Engaging critically with societal structures not only changes the world around us, but also transforms us internally. It challenges us to grow in empathy and understanding, to become more aware of the complexities of human experience, and to develop a more profound sense of justice and equity. As you reflect on these ideas, think about the societal structures that influence your life. Are there norms or laws that you take for granted, which might be perpetuating inequality or injustice? How can you participate in or initiate conversations about these issues in your community? This exploration is not just about intellectual understanding. It's about taking active steps towards creating a more equitable world. It's about using our newfound insights to make impactful changes, both within ourselves and in the wider world. As we wrap up this part of our discussion, I invite you to ponder how understanding and transforming societal structures can lead to significant shifts in how we perceive and interact with the world. What changes might you experience in your life if you began to actively challenge the societal norms and structures that you now see as unjust or outdated? Transcending spiritual barriers, unveiling our true essence. As we journey deeper into the understanding of the veil of ignorance, we now turn our focus towards its implications on our spiritual lives. This part of the veil is perhaps the most profound because it directly pertains to our sense of self and our connection to the universe. The spiritual dimension of the veil of ignorance conceals our true nature and potential, often leading us to live in disconnection from our deepest truths. In many spiritual traditions, it is said that our true essence is pure, wise, and inherently connected to all that is. However, the veil of ignorance casts shadows of doubt, fear, and separation. These shadows can prevent us from experiencing our true spiritual nature and from recognizing the interconnectedness of all life. Think about how often you feel isolated or different from others. Isn't it possible that this sense of separation is an illusion, a trick of the veil that keeps us from recognizing our shared human experience. To begin lifting this spiritual veil, it is crucial to engage in practices that reconnect us with our deeper selves and with the world around us. Meditation, mindfulness, and contemplative prayer are powerful tools in this regard. These practices help us quiet the incessant chatter of our minds, which is often filled with the noise of societal norms and personal anxieties, allowing us to experience a more profound sense of peace and connection. Through regular spiritual practice, we can start to perceive glimpses of our true nature. This is not an easy journey, as it requires us to confront aspects of ourselves that we might prefer to ignore: our fears, our prejudices, and our pains. However, this confrontation is necessary for growth. As we face these parts of ourselves, we not only begin to heal but also start to dissolve the artificial barriers that the veil of ignorance has created between us and our true selves. Another aspect of addressing this spiritual veil involves examining the narratives we have about the world and our place within it. How often do we operate under the belief that we are merely individuals, striving against each other for survival and success? This worldview is a significant component of the veil because it reinforces the illusion of separation. In contrast, many spiritual teachings emphasize the notion of oneness, that all of life is interconnected and that our actions reverberate throughout the entire web of existence. Reflect on your life and consider whether there are moments when you have felt a deep connection with others, with nature, or with a higher power. What were these experiences like? How did they change your perception of yourself and the world? These moments are key to understanding and transcending the spiritual veil because they provide a direct experience of reality unfiltered by the habitual patterns of thought and behavior that typically govern our lives. Moreover, engaging with diverse spiritual traditions can broaden our understanding and help us see beyond the confines of our cultural conditioning. Each tradition offers unique insights and practices that can enrich our spiritual journey. By openly exploring these traditions, not only do we expand our own spiritual repertoire, but we also cultivate a greater appreciation for the myriad ways humanity seeks connection and meaning. As we conclude this part of our exploration, consider how the process of spiritual awakening might transform your life. Imagine living each day with a profound sense of connection to all beings, guided by deep inner wisdom and compassion. How would this shift in perspective change your interactions, your choices, and your sense of purpose? Harmonizing vision and action. Practical steps for living beyond the veil. In this final segment of our exploration into the veil of ignorance, we focus on the tangible, actionable steps we can take to integrate our newfound insights into our daily lives. This is where the philosophical meets the practical, where deep understanding translates into lived experience. Our goal is to harmonize our vision, the clear-sightedness we've cultivated by piercing through the various layers of the veil, with concrete actions that embody this vision. 1. Cultivate continuous self-awareness. The first step in living beyond the veil is to maintain a heightened state of self-awareness. This involves regularly checking in with ourselves to recognize when our perceptions and decisions are being clouded by residual layers of ignorance. Practices such as journaling, meditation, and mindful reflection can be invaluable tools in this ongoing process. By becoming observers of our own minds, we can detect biases and conditioned responses as they arise, allowing us to choose more consciously how we react and engage with the world. 2. Engage in constructive dialogue. Having realized how our perspectives are shaped by various societal and cultural influences, it's crucial to engage in open, constructive dialogues with others. These conversations should not be about winning arguments, but about understanding different viewpoints and expanding our own horizons. By approaching dialogues with humility and genuine curiosity, we foster environments where collective wisdom can emerge, breaking down barriers erected by the veil of ignorance. 3. Educate and be educated. Education is a powerful tool for piercing through ignorance. This involves not only formal education, but also self-directed learning and community-based knowledge sharing. Seek out books, documentaries, workshops, and lectures that challenge and expand your understanding of the world. Equally important is to share your knowledge with others, contributing to a more informed, compassionate, and conscious society. 4. Advocate for inclusive and equitable practices. Understanding the structural components of societal veils means recognizing inequalities and striving to address them. Whether in your workplace, local community, or broader political environment, advocate for policies and practices that promote equity and inclusiveness. This can range from supporting diverse leadership to advocating for systemic changes that address the roots of inequality. 5. Practice compassion and openness in everyday interactions. On a more personal level, make a conscious effort to practice compassion and openness in your daily interactions. Recognize that everyone you meet may also be operating under their own layers of the veil. By approaching others with empathy and a willingness to understand their perspectives, you contribute to a more compassionate world, slowly lifting the veil for others as well as for yourself. 6. Commit to personal and collective actions. Finally, integrate your personal transformation with collective action. This means aligning your daily choices, from consumption habits to investment decisions, with your broader values of justice, sustainability, and empathy. Join or form communities that are actively working towards societal change, leveraging the power of collective effort to enact real, lasting transformations. As we conclude this exploration, remember that living beyond the veil is an ongoing journey. Each step taken to understand and act beyond our conditioned perceptions brings us closer to a more enlightened existence, individually and collectively. It's a path marked by continuous learning, growing, and contributing, driven by the profound realization that beyond the veil lies a vision of life richer and more interconnected than we ever imagined. Are you ready to take these steps and actively participate in the unfolding of a more conscious and connected world? The journey continues with each choice and action woven into the fabric of our everyday lives.